That's now very first story. Ministry for Works and Housing has accused contractors of the Saglemi housing project of misappropriating over $129 million in the construction of 142,000 units out of 5,000 expected. Now, the contractors, Measures Consitorial OAS Ghana Limited, have in a letter cited by Joy News told the ministry it cannot continue with the project whilst demanding a refund of some $2 million in tax waivers. But addressing a news conference today, Works and Housing Minister Samuel Atacha said government cannot take over the facility until the Attorney General has advised. Ernest Kojomenu joins us live. Ernest, what exactly did the minister say?
So the minister is essentially saying that the project should have cost the country $200 million for 5,000 housing units, but the number of housing units to be built by this construction firm was reduced first to 1,500 and then subsequently to 1,000. And this was done just between the ministry and the contractor, just two parties. Now, this is despite the fact that government had approved, and I'm talking of Parliament, that approved a contract term of $200 million for 5,000 housing units. And so far, the minister says that the construction firm had spent about 99% of the contract sum, which was put in an escrow account. So they were able to trace the monies that were withdrawn from the escrow account to that for them to come to that conclusion that 99% of the money had been used, and for them this amounts to misappropriation because you have failed to deliver on the actual numbers that you were supposed to have delivered, 5,000, and yet you cannot really tell us what you have used the money for. And so that is what the minister is saying as far as this is concerned. And he said that the review, the downward review of the numbers from 5,000 to 1,005 and to 1,000 eventually was done when the Collins Dauda was Works and Housing Minister in the Aswal Mahama administration.
We shed some more light on that Collins Dauda angle because we understand the minister said this contract as approved by government was altered by Mr. Dauda, and it's raised questions about the appropriation of that $200 million approved by Parliament.
Absolutely, Daniel. So just like I mentioned, the minister, without the expert approval of Parliament or without reverting to Parliament, or at least there's no evidence or documentation to show that Cabinet even approved of this, the Works and Housing Minister, Samuel Atacha, is saying that the then Minister, Collins Dauda, together with the company which was contracted to do the Saglemi housing project, just reviewed the figures downwards from the initial 5,000 approved by Parliament to 1,005 and then to 1,000 eventually. There was no reason given, and so now it is not clear why that was done, and it is not clear how come the monies also did not reduce. And so all of this is before the Attorney General for review and advice, and it is only after that that they can take a concrete decision on this.
Thank you very much, Ernest Kojomenu, for joining us with those updates. And he was at that presser by the Ministry of Works and Housing. Away from that, 3 more drone centers will be ready in 9 months. Zipline Ghana has announced it will take 9 more months to complete 3 additional drone centers in the country. The first of 4 facilities was officially launched this morning by Vice President Dr. Mahmoud Baumia in Ominako in the Eastern region. CEO of Zipline International, Kela Renaudot, says the 3 other facilities will be ready in 9 months. Matilda Wemega joins us live from Suhum in the Eastern region. Matilda, which area will this facility be serving?
Daniel, I'm told that this specific facility will serve the Eastern region. It will serve parts of the Ashanti region. It will also serve parts of the Greater Accra region and also serve parts of the Volta region, Daniel.
And where are the other centers going to be situated?
So the 3 other centers that are expected to be ready in 9 months, which is between December and January 2020, is going to be situated. Next stop is the Ashanti region. From the Ashanti region, the next facility would also be situated in the northern region. From the northern region to the western region, and then to the central region as well, Daniel.
Is there going to be any possibility that we will not have these other centers?
Sorry, Daniel, I didn't get you. Please come again.
I am asking if we have been told that it's possible we will not have these centers over the next 9 months, considering
Whether
our
I
needs.
have been briefed.
Well,
Hello, Daniel.
yes, Matilda, I understand you are finding it difficult to hear, so we'll move from there. The Vice President has been speaking. What has he been saying?
Yes, the Vice President has been speaking about how government is committed in reaching some of these difficult areas who have access to some of these essential medicine. But beyond that, and the fact that he's happy that this project has seen the light of day, he's also been talking about other issues, specifically to do with the operations of health facilities in the country. And he has been saying that they have already started a project. You know, the Vice President has been championing projects on how e-system can be used in all government facilities. So the health facilities are also going to enjoy that. At the moment, they are doing a pilot on paperless system, where all health facilities, all data, all information will be kept in a one centralized system. Yes, Daniel.
Thank you very much, Matilda Omega, for joining us with those updates. Now, pressure group Occupy Ghana is asking the presidency to dissociate itself from comments by Senior Minister Yao Osafo-Maafo, justifying the release and subsequent deportation of a Chinese national accused of deep involvement in illegal mining. The group argues that that is the only way the presidency can assure citizens it remains committed to ending illegal mining. Senior Minister Yao Osafo-Maafo at a town hall meeting in the United States cited Ghana's diplomatic ties with China and its support in the rollout of government major infrastructure initiative as reasons for the decision to terminate the prosecution of Aisha 1, well, she's also known as N1. Now, there have since been reactions mostly condemning the minister. The group believes the president must speak on the matter.
Well, the way we see it, I think that the senior minister spoke out of turn. You see, when you listen to the sound bites and the video that is going around on social media, it sounded more like his personal opinion rather than a government policy. And I think because of the sensitivity and the high impact value of the whole Galamsey issue, we have had a lot more social media focus on his statement than probably we normally would expect. But yes, we do feel strongly that statements of that sort, if they are personal opinions, should be kept in the personal opinion pocket. And if they are government opinions, it should be made very clear that this is what government believes in and this is what government is going to do. So we are not too comfortable with what he said and the way he said it and where he said it.
You make a number of demands. You want first the minister himself to retract if he fails to do that. You think the presidency must formally speak on the matter?
I think it's important when society is so vehement about what has been said and an impression is being created that we are not serious enough about fixing the Galamsey problem. I think if the government is really bent on ensuring that this is done properly, then it is responsible for clearing the air on the matter. And this is why we are asking government to do so.
How do you think, finally, how do you think this affects this whole perception about the fight against illegal mining? Does it cause it irreparable damage, perhaps?
Look, the illegal mining issue is illegal for the simple reason that it has been declared illegal. Okay, we legalize or illegalize things simply because we believe that it has to be so. Government can, with one stroke of the pen, decide that artisanal mining on a very, very low level is not illegal, and that cures your problem. However, as much as we have not issued an official statement from Occupy Ghana yet, there probably is a need in this country to now start looking at how we define artisanal mining. We have a law for large corporate mining. We have a law for small-scale mining. It is probably time for us to sit down and really think through having a law for micro mining. This is something that we have to look at because we are hearing from various places that the water bodies are browning again. There seems to be quite a bit of pollutants in the water again. We need to figure out exactly what is going wrong and whether there is illegal mining going on or there is pollutant mining going on, which the government is not able to trap and to control. So the fight for Galamsey, like I said, if we're going to win it, is either going to have to be a direct determination of what is and what is not Galamsey. Two, whether we have a mining law that will cover artisanal mining and give all of these young people an opportunity to make a legal living out of what they have. Or thirdly, we're just going to have to bulldoze our way through and then just stop gold mining at that level completely. There are difficult decisions to be taken, but that is what government should do, and that is what government has the obligation to fix.
Away from that, Deputy Minority Leader James Kluche Aveji is pushing for a change in the name of the bill, seeking to end political party-related violence. The proposed law laid in Parliament is christened Vigilantism and Related Offences Act 2019. The bill further lists a number of associations, referring to them as political party vigilante groups. Some members of the Justice Shorts Commission that probed the violence as the January 31 by-election had pushed for such groups to be called militias. Listen to a member of the Shorts Commission, Professor Henrietta Minta-Bonsu, explaining that position.
We shouldn't use nice euphemisms like political vigilantism. They are private militias. And the danger is that, as you pointed out, these rival groups are beginning to fight within the parties, which means that they answer to particular leaders. That makes the leaders warlords. And this is warlordism that, if not checked, can degenerate.
Mr. Aveji believes this is a better description that must form the basis for naming that law. Listen.
When the bill came, I read through the provisions of the bill and realized that what they are trying to do actually did not fit into the definition of vigilantism. So I went to look at the English definition of vigilantism, which says that a group of people who are enforcing the law but do not have a legal backing. So the issue that we are talking about are not people who are actually enforcing the law. They are rather working against the law. So we cannot call this bill or this act Vigilantism Act. So it means that we are trying to create an organ or a situation where a group of people will be doing the wrong thing, will be calling them as people who are doing the right thing or enforcing the law, but do not have a legal backing. So I think that, first of all, let's look at the name that we are giving to the bill. Should it be a vigilantism? Because the people are not actually enforcing any law. They are rather working against the laws that we have in this country. So I think that they should look at the name that will befit the bill.
Which are the names?
Militia, yes, should be a better name for it, so that we know clearly that the bill is not about vigilantism, but it's about militia, a group of people who do not have legal backing and are not enforcing any law. Because, look, we used to call the special prosecutor, Martin Amidu, as what, citizen vigilante, which means that he's somebody who is trying to enforce the law. So people who are enforcing the law but do not have legal backing are what we can refer to as vigilantism. But where the people are being established by a group of people for a purpose, which is not in a way backed by any law to enforce any law, we cannot call them vigilante group.
Your colleagues who work under you, who within the minority, are obviously on the committee that is considering this. Is something I intend to push to them for perhaps if the AG will be open to that kind of change being made?
Yeah, I'm sure that one of the first thing that the committee will do is to look at the title of the bill, the object of the bill. If it match, they will. If not, they will have to propose an amendment to change it. So, and I think that the committee will consider that.
Away from that, 2 policemen of the Mensa station suffered injuries after they were allegedly attacked at Tayman in the Greater Accra region. The personnel say they had gone to the community to arrest a man accused of fraud, but family members and neighbors of the suspect attacked them with sticks and other objects. One of the policemen was hit in the head, leaving a cut. Police say the suspect and his son are currently on the run, but his daughter is in their grips for locking a door and taking part in the attack. Maxwell Agbagba has more in this report.
Managed to escape with the handcuff.
I've met the 2 policemen at the Mensa police station. The inspector, who was in charge of the team, has bruises on his chest. His colleague is wearing a red cap. He's using it to cover the big plaster on his head. In his left hand is a white polythene bag containing the receipt of a head scan from a laboratory. The inspector says at a point he had to jump a wall in order to open the gates to the house, which had been locked.
In the process, the man managed to escape with the handcuff, whilst one of the wrists was handcuffed. In fact, the men, numbering about 6, together with 5 women, pounced on us mercilessly. And when we were about to run for our life, one of the ladies locked us in the house. And in fact, the assault became intense. I managed to scale over the wall and opened the gate. And threw one of my men who was being assaulted into a taxi.
Pictures seen by Joy News show one of the officers in a plastic chair with his uniform soaked in blood and a deep cut on his bald head. He says the son of the suspect hit his head with a stick in an attempt to prevent him from handcuffing his father.
Before I turned like this, I saw a guy with a wood. That we should leave the man, we should leave. Immediately, oh, he hit my head with the wood. So that time, blood is coming plenty. So I didn't try to give one shot, but the gun is not firing. I don't know the reason why. I'm feeling headache. I went to, the day that the thing happened, we went to Damfa Hospital. They stitched the date in the...
Mensa Abokobi District Commander Superintendent Edward Tete says a police communication device and a magazine were taken from the police and returned after 3 days.
We were able to retrieve our magazine with 7 rounds of ammunition and then the Gota sets. Yeah, they took it from our men. You know, they were attacked in an enclosed environment. And during the scaffold, they were able to take the magazine and then the handset from the men. Hopefully by Wednesday, Thursday, they should be in court.
A daughter of the suspect has been accused of locking the doors and contributing to the attack. She has denied the allegation.
I told them it is late, so they should leave and allow my father to report at the police station the next day. We were pleading and did not want our father to be handcuffed. There was a scuffle followed by a warning shot. I saw a lot of people in our house. The situation escalated. I did not lock the door. It is an automatic lock. We did not prevent them. I was begging them not to arrest my father because it was late in the evening.
Police says it is on a manhunt for 2 of the people who are complicit in this attack. The public relations officer of the Accra Regional Police, DSP Fiatenge, says the police would not hesitate to deal with the perpetrators.
The main suspects and whose name the court issued this warrant of arrest has absconded, and that the police is still on a manhunt for him. But this is a warning. Every attack on any police officer is an attack on the entire nation and is an attack on every citizen of this land. And in all efforts, it must be condemned. Nobody has a right to attack every police officer who is on his or her lawful duty. And that is what we must take note. They will also be arraigned before court for the attack on the police officer, for the court in its own wisdom to look at this and also prefer the necessary punishments to whoever I believe the punishment is due.
To other issues, and executive editor of the Daily Guide newspaper, Fortune Alimi, is standing by the paper's front page publication on Wednesday that the 3 missing Takoradi girls have been rescued. The newspaper, known to have strong links to government, is citing highly placed security sources who indicates the girls are currently undergoing medical attention in Accra after they were brought from Takoradi on Tuesday. Mr. Alimi, in an interview earlier on Newsdesk, hinted of official communication on the issue in the coming hours or days.
We received a report that they've been rescued, they've been brought to Accra, they are receiving treatment in a facility belonging to the security agencies or specifically at the BNI clinic. That's the information we had yesterday. We were convinced, based on the report we received, that at least the CID Director General had given information about 2-3 weeks ago that they have reports of closing in on the girls. They've located the place and they were almost rescuing them. So when we received the information, we were comfortable because the source is very authentic.
Okay.
And we believe in the source. So based on that, we run with the story.
When you received the report from the BNI, the police said they were not aware of this, if I heard you clearly.
Yes, it's possible because sometimes, even in the police setup, a particular police station may have a case. When you call the headquarters may not even be aware because maybe you are lucky to have a wind of the story until you give them additional information before they can contact the said police station and get the adequate briefing from them. So sometimes it doesn't work that all information should be processed at the same time by the different security agents.
Sure.
According to the sources, either the source or the sources, they've sent to the facilities in order to examine them to make sure that they are okay, everything is okay with them before the next step. And I have a very strong feeling that maybe within the next couple of hours or days, there may be official statements or official confirmation about the breakthrough.
Now, the paper published a similar story on its online platform Tuesday, and our Western Region correspondents visited some family members of the girls. The girls have been missing for months, sparking national outrage. 22 days ago, the Director General of the Police CID said in a press conference that they know the whereabouts of the missing girls. Some of the family members have vowed to stage a demonstration against the CID boss COP Mamea Tiwa Adodankwa on May 1 if the girls are not returned.
So today marks exactly 3 weeks when COP Mame Tiwa Adodankwa announced that the 3 Takoradi kidnapped girls are safe and the police force know where they are. It's been 3 weeks. According to family, they've not heard anything, they've not seen anything. Today here on Joy News, we are here to interact with the families to find out how they are coping with the situation.
It's very disheartening. Today is exactly 2 weeks when we heard this. Initially, we were all excited. We talked to some experts. What they were saying is it could be that they found the girls, but because of their condition, they want to treat them medically. So if it is true that they know where the girls are, the best thing they could have done is invite the family. Let the family, some of the family members talk to the guests. Wherever the condition they are, they will be revived. But all these things have not been done. 3 weeks now, we have not hearing anything from them. So what we intend doing, on the 30th of this month, that is 30th April, we are going to launch Madam CID boss. Hashtag Madam CID boss. We want to see our guests. Then 1st May, if there's no peace in secondary Takoradi metropolis, Midday, what are workers going to do? A lot of workers here, they find it difficult even to go to work and leave their daughters or children at home. So 1st May, we are all marching to the grounds. As the regional minister, he also confirmed that they know where the guests are.
At the yet press conference in Yenuaji,
we were happy after the comments made by the CID boss on the whereabouts of our missing girls.
Since our press conference,
but till now, nothing has been done. We are still in doubt and very confused. I sometimes call the Takoradi CID and he keeps assuring me the girls will be found. Mami Adwa, we are still waiting and praying for you. We are hopeful that you would return safely. We pray for God's protection and guidance upon your life. And we know you will come back to us soon.
From that story, we move to a group of cashew farmers and marketers in the Tain district of the Bono region who are calling on government to set up a regulatory body which will be in charge of determining the pricing of cashew nuts. 100 kilograms of cashew, which was sold at 800 cedis a year ago, now sells at 200 cedis. This, according to the farmers, could push a lot of them out of business and render them jobless. There's more in the following report by Joy News' Anna Sabit.
Cashew farmers and buyers at Sekwa under the Tain district of the Bono region are threatening to withdraw their services due to the significant drop in the commodities price within the last 12 months. A 100 kilogram of cashew nut, which was sold between 800 and 1,000 Ghana cedis last year, now sells at 200 Ghana cedis or even lower. The price, according to the poor farmers, could drop further lower by next year if appropriate measures are not put in place to serve as a regulation to the pricing of the commodity. Solomon Amiao is a farmer and the secretary to the Tain Cashew Farmers Association.
This year, the price started 4 cedis. It went to 5. It even went to 6 cedis. Then later, it started coming down. Now it has come down to 2 cedis. It's not even up to half of a dollar, and which is not supposed to happen because the cost of even picking cashew from farms alone is not easy. When they pick one bag, which is 100 kilos, they will charge you 120 Ghana cedis, and then you have to feed them. After putting everything together, you see that it will cost you around 150 Ghana cedis. So imagine picking one bag of cashew and then the cost alone is 150 Ghana cedis and you selling it for 200 Ghana cedis. It's very bad.
It would be recalled that in February last year, the President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo launched a 10-year cashew development plan aimed at diversifying the country's agri sector. The plan, according to the President, involves the supply of seedlings, mass spraying, industry-focused research, and the development of marketing strategies along the value chain. This, according to Solomon, has been reduced to an empty promise.
In the 10-year development plan, it was stated that in the next 10 years, at least Ghana is supposed to produce 200,000 metric tons as compared to how much we are producing, 70,000 metric tons. And now with all these promises, nothing has been done. Nothing, absolutely nothing has been done because government also assured that in each year, February, second Tuesday or third Tuesday of February every year will be used as Cashew Day. This year we didn't see anything. Now, I have some farmers who do not even bother themselves to go to their farms and pick anymore.
He recounts how the cashew trade has served as an employment avenue for the poor youth in the area and is afraid if nothing is being done about the sector, something unexpected might happen.
I have a lot of graduates. I sat with them, and now they are all farmers. They started 3 years ago. They are ready to do, and they are not waiting for the government to just employ them. They have their own farms, and they are now working because we have other lot of farmers. Some are not even picking it from their farms. Some have decided not to even pick it at all. So if government do not resolve it as early as possible or do not listen to our grievances, it's going to create chaos. It's going to create a problem that will be beyond solution.
For Emmanuel Akwesi-Tano, the smuggling of cashew nut from neighboring countries could be a contributing factor to the fall in the price of the commodity.
Look at my farm plantation. We decided that I buy. People have to carry the nut for me. I can't do it myself. The contract and whatever I'm giving to people, I can't pay them. When I ask those who buy it, what they tell me is, this is the product that is coming from Cote d'Ivoire that is making the price low. More goods coming from Cote d'Ivoire, coming from the country. So we are begging the government, even if we can't buy ours, it should stop what is coming so that they'll buy ours for us. That's our problem.
He wants government to establish a regulatory body for the cashew sector.
What we want the government to do is to bring in a regulation like he did for cocoa. Cocoa, they bring the price somewhere January or February. This is the whole year. So we know that if cashew is 5 cedis from January up to December, 5 cedis.
Hamidu Ahmed Harrison is a cashew buyer from Techiman. He laments the struggles they go through as buyers and has few suggestions for the government.
By the time that you take the goods from the farmer to where you are going to sell it, by the time you get there, you go there in mind with a certain price. But by the time you get there, they will reduce it, saying so many stories. If they will not complain about the quality, they will complain about the moisture. If not that, they will say the international market is no good. But we can all Google small and see that the cashew price has not dropped that much. And even the city has depreciated. So if the city depreciates, it means that the cashew price has to go up. I think the government should come in, not necessarily coming out with a board or whatever. They should set a price seal that the cashew should not fall below that. Where and when it falls below that, the government should make provisions and buy the excess and keep it. I know for sure that it will not be like this forever. If the government is able to intervene in that way, they will later on come back.
He's however afraid if government do not intervene, lots of people within the region will be rendered unemployed. Reporting for Joy News, Anas Sabit, Sekwa.
Now, some customers of Gold Coast Securities have been staging protests in its Kumasi office for weeks, demanding their investments. They have expressed displeasure and disagreement with a 1 to 5 year payment plan offered by the company, and they have vowed to take their investments. Love News' Erastus Asai-Donkol joins me live with more. Erastus, what's the latest?
Well, yes, we are here at the Doom opposite the Toyota offices, and we have angry customers of Gold Coast Securities standing here and lamenting, demanding their cash. And what is causing this anger at the moment is that there is a notice on the premises of Gold Coast Securities indicating that they've had enough of the verbal and physical exchanges against some of their staff on a daily basis. So they can no longer take that, and they are closing the offices starting from 16th of this month. And so currently the office is closed, and that is what is causing this anger. Let me speak with some of them to find out what their frustration is at the moment. What is your problem at the moment?
My problem is that there's nobody to talk to. You have taken so much of our money, our lifetime savings, and you are not communicating with us. You are not sending us the text messages that you used to send those days. Every month I got a text message telling me about my funds and how it was progressing. No communication whatsoever. And I need my money. I'm going through hardship. A lot of us are going through hardship. And we don't have our money.
Do you see the notice on the front page of the premises
indicates that some of you have been harassing them, and so they can no longer open the offices.
I think all they need is to strengthen their security. That is all. If they had started paying us, or at least if they had got a plan showing that every month these are the numbers of the people who are going to be paid, everybody would be calm and stay home. But there is nothing. There is no plan. There is nothing. And people cannot stay home. We need our money. So you have to get up and come here.
They have offered a 1 to 5 year payment plan. Do you agree with that?
That is not my choice. That is not what I came in to do. I brought in the money for a purpose, and it is time I need my money.
So that's one of the customers here. Quite a number of them have gone to the Central Police Headquarters. I understand they are trying to get permission to demonstrate. And so that is what we are hanging on here to see what the police command will say about that.
Thank you very much, Erastus Sardonko, for joining us with that update. You're still live on Joy News today with me, Daniel Dazi. Emmanuel Abuajiri comes next with business.